The Supra looks completely different by the end of this episode. To bring this render to reality, this is a crucial episode. Definitely takes the longest amount of time to install. It's not a cheap thing to do either, but the benefits are amazing and the look is killer. There's no better person in Phoenix, Arizona to do this. Rick helped me way before my YouTube channel was my thing full time, and we've worked on many projects in the past, and this is by far my favorite one to date that we're sharing with you today. It all starts with the render. That's where we're going. I'm gonna show Rick this render. We're gonna work on tint first, and then I'm gonna jump straight into progress on the PPF film, and then Rick's gonna tell us what it is and everything at the end when you get to see what it looks like, and then we'll shoot some really nice footage of the Supra so all of us can kind of drool over it at the end. Enjoy this episode. Ton of progress, complete transformation. I have all of Rick's information down in the description. He supports myself and the channel and Karma Speed. I want to support him as much as possible, and the best way to do so is if you're in the Phoenix Valley or you're 3, 4, 5 hours away and you want to get your car done right with PPF, tinting, they even have Cactus wraps, anything to support Rick, hit him up. He's the man. We're in Scottsdale at Cactus Tint to visit Rick, and today's a little different. It's not necessarily off of preferences of what I want. It's actually more about how it looks to start, and then we'll kind of reverse engineer from there based off of our rendering. That's super important to stick to. The whole cab is kind of see-through a little bit so you can see shadows, but I want the whole thing to just kind of have a really nice dark tone to it. All right, reverse engineer this.
So judging by the picture, I would say it's maybe 30%. It doesn't look crazy dark. It looks very consistent throughout. It doesn't look like it's darker on the back or anything, which on this car, whatever you do, I would do the same shade everywhere. It looks like a gray type film. Doesn't look like it's brown at all. Right. So I'd probably stick with the Prestige. 30% is a true gray, and it performs outstanding, which that car's cabin's small. You still want to keep it cool. I mean, we're in Arizona. That's what I would probably say, just based on that color tone. That's gray. That's brown. This is kind of blue. Unless we did a little darker, we could do 20. For trying to emulate this, the first thing I thought of is probably the 30, like I said, or the 20. I think as far as color tones go. You're not going for dark. Privacy doesn't seem like it's really the issue.
I want it to almost feel like you could see shadows like of whatever is going on in the cab, not necessarily hide anything.
Make it more usable when you're driving the car too, so at nighttime driving. Daytime's never the problem, just nighttime.
I like to drive this car fast, so having high visibility is a good thing.
I think around 30% everywhere would be the cat's meow as far as...
Even the windshield?
No, we'll do the windshield much lighter.
But still like a darker tone?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like 60, and I could show you the GTR. So this is 20 with 15 on the back. It has a little bit of a, I don't know, what color do you think this looks like when you look through it?
A little blue, right?
It's a little bluish.
And which film is this?
This is the Expel XR Plus 20. It's a little blue for sure. This is a red car, and I don't think it looks bad on here, but it performs good. The windshield on this is 60% crystalline.
This is perfect.
I think it's money.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Basically copying your car.
We can do that.
Is that what the film you're talking about?
This is 20 plus, which is the middle one. A little bluish, but it'll look good because your car's...
But the other one's a little more brown, that's Expel?
A little more gray. No.
Or gray.
Yeah. So this is what I was thinking. If you want the car to have a little bit more of an angry look, kind of like the GTR, this is what's on the front doors of the GTR, and I would just do the same shade everywhere.
Yeah, this seems like the no-brainer. So this is what you had, and it was slightly too dark.
At night, yeah.
And then you went to 20, and you really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bee's knees.
And there's still times at night you want to roll your windows down.
Yeah.
Just be safe, but...
It looks nice, though, too.
Yeah, and this is for show purposes only.
Cool.
So if you're coming in here for your daily driver, the questions I often ask are, what are you doing it for? What was your initial goal to contact us, and what were you looking for? You know, people usually go, oh, I want it dark. And I'm like, do you want it dark for privacy, or are you doing it for heat? And they'll say, I'm gonna do it for heat. Well, you don't have to. And so as soon as I open that door for them, it kind of lets them relax a little bit and kind of discuss what is important to them. So then they're like, no, it's hot. I don't really care how dark it is. Well, then we'll kind of sway a different direction. So it was cool for you to, I really don't get people approaching me with renderings of their car. That's an anomaly situation. So it's cool for me to see it and look at it and kind of judge what the rendering is to kind of make it come to life. But when people walk in off the street or whatever and they're asking questions about what's best for them, I try and decipher what is best for them. So when people walk in and they say it's just for heat, a lot of times I'll steer them towards 3M because the 3M performs really, really well and it's user friendly. So at nighttime you can see well through it and it works good. If people come in, they want it dark for privacy, the Expel Prime XR Plus is great because there's so many shades to choose from. We can kind of mix and match and make it work.
And Rick can show you with the heat lamps here, and you can test it out for yourself and see how crazy it is.
So what we do here is like whenever people bring a car in, we have what's called a vehicle walk around check-in. So what we want to do is just check to see if there's a scratch in the car, wheels are curved, just general things that people may have noticed or may have not noticed. We don't want them to think that maybe we did something to their car. So it protects us and protects them from having to make an uncomfortable phone call and be like, hey, this wasn't here before you guys tinted the windows, you know? So we look at the wheels, just give it a once over, make sure everything's cool, look at kind of like the general condition of the car. Obviously this thing's in incredible shape, except for it's got the Poochie on the back. I obviously know this car, it's no fair, this isn't a true walk around. But I guess if there was damage, I'd be like, what's this, Cameron? With the fact that we're spraying water, we cover stuff so that there's not water dripping onto your stereo or onto your door panel. We try and do what I call get rid of the evidence. So we want to make sure that it's like a seamless thing. When you bring your car in, you get it back the way you brought it in or better, just the way things should be. If I had a damaged wheel, I'd be like, hey, your left front wheel's damaged. And you're like, oh, I didn't notice that. My significant other did it, or whatever the excuse may be. So it just protects everyone involved. Car looks good though. Looks fast. Sounds even better.
At this point, we're ready to do the windshield, but the windshield is cracked on the Supra in the corner, so we're getting a new windshield. That's actually perfect because best case scenario, you work with a glass company, they get your windshield, they send it to someone like Rick, wherever you're located, at Cactus Tint. They can do the film on the inside and outside. Outside, yes.
So Clearplex, they're manufacturing it in a way, but it's not really designed to be on the outside. And the reason I say that, scratch coat immediately starts getting deteriorated from UV. Anything like facing the sun with a scratch coat is gonna not last that long. So there are manufacturers out there that are trying to perfect this, like Expel being one of them. They're trying to come up with a windshield film that actually doesn't deteriorate the minute it's on the car.
So if you put film on the outside, it's really hard to make it last in the sunlight from the UV deterioration.
Correct.
This is technology that still is not dialed in.
Yeah.
Clear on the outside, that's super thick and thin, UV protection and tint on the inside for heat rejection and to get the aesthetic look that we're going for in the render. So that's gonna get done off the car. I wasn't able to film it, but the process is pretty straightforward.
Feel that.
It's like the stuff your teacher uses to cover your pages. That's thick. That got installed on the car, and now we can go to the PPF part where we do Expel Satin PPF. Rick will talk more about it, but check out this install. It's like wrapping a car, but with thick film to protect it, makes washing easier, looks really cool, has a satin finish, and you don't have to worry about rock chips and stuff like that moving forward at all, which is a huge peace of mind when you have a really nice car like this. And if you want it to stay looking nice as long as humanly possible, there's no better thing out there than to do PPF. It's not cheap, but it literally takes all the hassle and work and stress out of having a nice paint job. It can be a show car that stays a show car, but you can also take it to the hills, drive it really hard, or daily drive it down the freeway and not worry about rock chips and stuff. No swirls in paint, it's self-healing. It's like if it scratches, when it's in the sun and it heats up, the scratches go away. Really cool technology. Here's the whole process start to finish, and then my reaction of seeing the car for the first time and talking about it with Rick. Thank you so much. Dang! Dang! Dude, give me one of these. Give me one of these. Dude, it's a Batmobile now.
Right? You need to change the front badge to like a little bat.
Something. I'm in love.
Isn't it just sexy? Dad see it go because
Did you get lots of compliments?
people trip out. Yeah, they're geeking out.
Dude, the guys did so good installing it. This is the best angle. Look at the hips. Look at that. Oh!
There's no other way to really describe it other than it just like looks really pissed off.
Yeah. So what is this, Rick? What did you do?
So we did full body Expel Stealth It's paint protection film with a satin or matte finish. But when you look at something like this, so it protects the car, it's better than a wrap. What's cool is if you look at it, all the metal flake that's in your car's paint still shines through. So you don't lose that. A lot of times when you put a film over it, you can lose that aesthetic that's in your paint. So the whole idea with this is to not lose that. But also protecting it, but changing the appearance. Like, it changed this car dramatically.
A ton.
Yeah, it's just a different car now. So now you can drive it and not worry about it getting thrashed. We did clear on your lights, we did clear on your mirrors because those are clear-ish. I wanted to kind of accent certain parts of it without taking away. I mean, if you do everything, like I tried to talk you out of doing the pillars, but actually they turned out pretty cool. I wanted them to kind of go with the windows, so to me it would have been different. But the cool part is about it, if you do want to go back, you can always pull it and just go with clear, you know, like a shine to it, just to give it that more uniform in that area, which kind of highlights the rest of the car even more, but it doesn't take away or add to it in my opinion.
This made the film on the windows stand out that much more too. I feel like it just looks so sharp now.
Yeah, it really kind of all goes together.
What about the windshield? Did you put the clear on that?
So the windshield has a film on the outside and on the inside. So we tinted the inside with crystalline 60% for heat rejection, but what we did on this, because it was so short of a time when you broke the windshield, so we put Clearplex on the outside. It's got a 1-year warranty. It's not designed to stop a huge boulder from breaking your windshield, but the ticky-tack little chips that turn into brakes is what it's supposed to do. The drawback to doing it is on the outside, so you have to still wax it like once a month. Should get silicone windshield wipers too, so if you accidentally hit the wipers without the water being on it, it doesn't just like destroy your windshield.
Scratch it?
Because it can scratch it. So it's not to live in fear of, but just get some turtle wax it once a month when it's clean, and just keep it slippery because you want it to be slippery.
For those who aren't familiar with the film for the windshield on the outside, can you show some of that right now?
I mean, you can't even tell because we did it out of the car, but we do it right to the edge. I've seen a lot of guys do it where they, I mean, if you put your fingernail right here and just rub it on the very edge, you'll feel like just the edge of the film. We've even tucked it behind the gasket, so it's all in
you
there.
Can't even tell.
Right, and that's the whole idea. I don't want you to tell. Like, we want this to be as seamless as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen guys do it. Like, you see the edge and no disrespect to the other shops, but it doesn't look very good. I don't want you to see stuff. I want it to look as factory as possible.
Oh man, wait till the wheels and the drop. Oh my.
Yeah,
this thing's gonna break necks.
The wheels are gonna be great in the spoiler.
Yeah.
Once you get the spoiler done.
The Supra looks like a Batmobile completely now. Next step in the progress to bring the render to reality is the wing, which I'm doing a special paint job on, and working with someone that understands my vision is gonna help me bring it to life. So look out for that episode. We gotta get the single exit exhaust as well. If you're enjoying seeing this car come to life in this project and my vision, but you haven't seen this intake install yet, or you just got a Supra, check out this right here. The Armor Speed intake makes the Supra sound like a Supra. Very vital part here as well. Check it out.